Press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update.
In earlier episodes of Government Matters, we've at length tried to understand the internal dynamics of the Modi government's big Jammu and Kashmir decision. Now, it is time to examine what is happening on the diplomatic front and how are external factors reacting to it. On Wednesday, Pakistan said it would downgrade diplomatic ties with India, and in fact, earlier today, India has issued a response. What we are going to look at today is try and understand what this response by India means and what the implications for the two countries are going forward. Noorima, before I ask you about India's response, which as we know just came today itself, just three big points, highlights of what Pakistan said on Wednesday and how it threatened to downgrade diplomatic ties.
Well, Ruhi, as you are aware that Pakistan Prime Minister had a meeting of their National Security Committee, which they called the NSC meeting, and that meeting went on yesterday almost whole day. But in early evening, let's say around 6:30, 7 o'clock, they had issued a statement saying that they'll be taking 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. The first one being downgrading diplomatic ties, then suspending trade ties, and reviewing of bilateral agreements,
right,
and many other things.
Right. So, Noorima, what has India said today in its reaction, and how would you view that reaction?
Well, I would really say that the reaction is quite balanced and measured. India is saying that Pakistan should not be threatening India and taking it. They have actually said in the statement that Pakistan is trying to being alarmist and sending an alarming statement to the world,
right,
as if something major has happened. So they've urged that review the decision to downgrade diplomatic ties, restore it to normalcy, and have the diplomatic ties be normal and preserve them. However, they've also justified in the statement saying that what we've done is for the development of Jammu and Kashmir and to create a gender parity in that state.
Right. Now, it's said that Pakistan is taking such drastic steps or whatever the extent of steps that it is taking to internationalize the issue. India, on the other hand, even if it's in its statement today, has maintained that Kashmir remains an internal matter. Do you think India's response was expected?
Yes, I mean India's response was expected in order to sort of tell Pakistan that let's not go to a level of where tensions get escalated, try and understand why we have done it, and the fact that this was anyway there in BJP's manifesto, and it was just a matter of time when they do it and bifurcate the state and announce them as union territories.
So how will India's statement, as you mentioned, is fairly balanced, and they've said that Kashmir remains an internal issue. How will it be viewed by the international community?
I think the international community by and large understands, and they have maintained that it is India's internal matter. However, they have also sounded a word of caution that do not escalate the tensions and the fact that let's not go it to the level where the Palakot thing had happened. But yes, while many countries have supported and said that it is India's internal matter, countries like China has said that this is not the right way to do it, and,
right,
and people have, I mean in China and others have, one or two countries have challenged the way it was done, the constitutional basis for all of
this. But OIC countries like Maldives and UAE have supported India.
Yes, they have. They've said that it's an internal matter. So because the fact that Pakistan has also done the same with Gilgit-Baltistan, which is the so-called Pakistan occupied Kashmir.
Right.
So I mean they have a separate authority in Gilgit-Baltistan, although everybody is aware of the fact that Islamabad continues to run that state,
right,
I mean that portion of
right,
Kashmir.
Now, Pakistan has also asked the Indian envoy there to return to India and has said it would not send its, the designate here. When was the last time that such steps were taken?
Well, it has been taken several times. It was taken last in 2003, and even after that, it continues to happen, just that then a lot of back channel talks take place and things come back to normalcy. What we are seeing this time, which is little unprecedented, is Pakistan blowing it out of proportion, telling it to the world, and the fact that they have said that they'll take the issue to the UN Security Council. That's, I mean, not the returning of envoys, but definitely the Kashmir issue. So this thing has really, but then I guess to a large extent this was expected from Pakistan. I think India was also expecting this kind of a reaction, but to actually tell our High Commissioner to come back is
Right.
something out of the way.
Right. Now, Noenema, let's look forward a little bit and try and understand what this means for already tense India-Pakistan relations. Let's begin with seeing the impact on the Kulbhushan Jadhav issue, where India is trying to get consular access to him. Where does that place India?
So, to a large extent, Ruhi, yes, this will have an impact on the Kulbhushan Jadhav case. The fact that, some Indian media reports have already come out that Pakistan has refused to give unimpeded access. I mean, they had given access to Kulbhushan last week on Friday. India refused it, saying that there will be no conditions and they should follow the Vienna Convention on Consular Access.
Right.
It seems Pakistan has not officially reacted to it yet, but I mean, maybe they will to say what they want to do. But I don't think going by, they are adhering to the ICJ verdict, so I don't think they'll say no. But then again, they'll have their own conditions.
Right. Now, Kulbhushan Jadhav is one aspect which has been a sort of, a reason for friction between the two countries. But as you said, there is a ICJ involved here, so Pakistan cannot perhaps go the extra mile in trying to, go against India on this front. But what about the Kartarpur corridor talks? Because they seem to have been going very well. There was positive movement on that front, and that is something that you think can be impacted because of what's happened now?
That's an interesting question, Ruhi. Now, the thing is, Kartarpur corridor is important for both sides. We've seen even after Balakot, which was, a bigger issue than this, both sides had, sort of calmed down and they had the talks, no matter what. Yes, India did say no to one of the talks, but that was for a different matter. That is because of the committee and other things. But by and large, Kartarpur really has seen good positive movement in it. It is going to be operational most probably by November, that's the plan. And I don't really see either India or Pakistan doing anything with it, because it's important for both sides.
Right. Now, Pakistan has said it will downgrade diplomatic ties. India has reacted and said, that it regrets that Pakistan had to take a decision like that, urging Pakistan to revoke the decision. What do you see going forward now? How do you see Pakistan reacting to India's statement, and how do you see India trying to make the issue a little less, to ensure it doesn't flare up further?
See, Ruhi, two things here. Firstly, what happened in the debate yesterday that happened in the Pakistan parliament, there were some very fiery messages there. There were even demands to completely suspend bilateral talks. I mean, not talks, but diplomatic ties, and not to resume it at all in the sense unless this matter gets settled. But to a very large extent, I think Pakistan, it has already said that it will take it to UNSC. It might also knock the doors of ICJ, the International Court of Justice. But India will continue to say that, this is our internal matter, let's not play it up so much. Calm down, there are many other matters that needs to be resolved, and have a normal bilateral, diplomatic ties. Having said that, it's also true that India refused for a dialogue for so long. Pakistan has been making a lot of overtures and, have been reaching out. So it remains to be seen what happens and whether our High Commissioner comes back or not.
Right. Well, the Kashmir issue, or the Modi government's decision on Jammu and Kashmir, adding to the already turbulent India-Pakistan relations, and Noenema explaining how India has reacted, what the response means, and what implications it could have going forward on important issues like Kulbhushan Jadhav as well as the Kartarpur corridor. Thank you so much for watching.